Hi, I'm Patty Williams with WKTV Journal, and I'm here today with a resident of Puerto Rico and actually a friend of mine, Brenda Saldana. Hi Brenda, welcome to Michigan.
Thank you so much.
Now, you recently went through Hurricane Irma.
Hurricane Irma brushed the north side of Puerto Rico, and I'm in San Juan area. But because I'm in coastal, I live on the beach, we knew right away that we needed to move out of there. I just so happened to have an apartment in Old San Juan, but it's rented with Airbnb. The worrying thing for Irma was that one was going to hit at night. So it's all dark and people worry about that. The way that the buildings are constructed, the colonial old Spanish style, is that it's open in the middle. So air goes through the middle in a building. And somehow, when we went downstairs, the lobby was flooded with water and the wind was gushing. But inside, you just don't hear a thing. So it was really good, and we felt very calm. And thank God what happened out of Irma was that Puerto Rico saw huge wind damage with a lot of trees down. And so we were out without electricity, at least I was, for 12 days. So immediately after Irma, then we got we sheltered those of the islands. And so by the time Maria hits, our shelters are filled, our hospitals are filled.
Now, your husband, Toby, caught the blunt of Maria. Tell me his account of what happened.
He was even scared himself. He stayed in an apartment building. And by his job, he works at a hotel, and he could feel the building swaying. He had to stay inside a closet area, bathroom area, because if he were to go to the living room or look out through the balcony, he will see the street signs flying out, and all kinds of cars flipping over. It was really scary for him, and to him, he felt like he was watching a horror movie. It's a window. It was a window about 5 hours of just having the hurricane in Puerto Rico and that howling wind and just that constant pouring down of rain.
Okay.
So 5 hours is a long time.
It's a long time. Brenda, what makes Hurricane Maria different than the other hurricanes that have been in the past?
Two important things. First of all, prior to the hurricanes, either Irma or Maria, Puerto Rico was going through another type of crisis, and it's an economic crisis. So Puerto Rico found itself under economic crisis, to then find itself on this situation of, after so many years, because the last hurricane that hit Puerto Rico was over 20 years or so, finding itself being devastated by a hurricane. So there's a financial crisis, and now there's a humanitarian crisis.
The news has been reporting that the airports and the hotels, people don't have water and food. They're waiting for 8 and 9 hours in the gas station lines, and grocery stores are closed, obviously, with no. Can you speak to that?
The day-to-day for people who are still in Puerto Rico, like my husband, it's, for example, to get gas, you have a limit of $15. Lines tend to be between 2 to 5 hours for you to get gas. Your grocery shopping has to be done on cash, and wherever it's open, so you don't find open. The greatest and I think the hardest thing, though, for Puerto Ricans right now, and for people in general, and people in the island, outside of the island, is the very poor communication. The lines are down. It's very hard for you to reach your loved ones.
This is like a bomb, but no chemical damage. Now there is a lack of food, diesel, gas, and water. I'm coping with the lack of gas and long lines to fill your tank. 200 cars in line. It's the same for supermarkets, even to find good internet and phone communications. With my house, I've lost an income with Airbnb. I had no idea it was going to be so severe island-wide. Bad, yes, but this is hell. And the aftermath is much worse. It's too hot to sleep. No way to wash clothes, and the pools are dirty. In preparation, I went to my parents' house in Guaynabo, Garden Hills, Sur. It was also hit hard. Fallen trees and power lines down. I brought my dogs, Tyson, Danya, Foxy Lady, and Luna. It is an all-cement house. I felt safe. Although glass windows were hit by debris, an area of the house did start flooding. 3 days after the hurricane, on Friday, to get home I used an SUV and skipped over power lines, trees, flooding, and traffic jams. When I reached my house, it was all unbelievable. I started crying and feeling the pain.
So the hurricane was on Wednesday. My husband was able to go into my house just 2 days ago. When he tried, the hurricane was on Wednesday. When he tried on Sunday, the water reached up to his waistline.
Okay. The waistline.
Yeah, the waistline. So just into 2 days ago, water was finally down. They drained it, and he was able to go in.
Okay.
And we had mainly water damage.
What about, we're talking about the beach and the people on the oceanfront and stuff. What about the rainforest and the people in the hills?
Hillside, it's been unfortunate. There have been loss of lives. There have been mudslides. The rainforest, one of the top tourist attraction, unfortunately, has suffered, has been razed. A lot of deforestation. Help each other out, because I know that a lot of people are complaining, and you see this mainly in the social media, about a lack of communication between one agency and the other. As long as they can continue communicating with each other and working efficiently, I think that we'll get out of this real soon. As American citizens that we are, just like the Virgin Islands as well, the federal government has a responsibility to support the rebuilding of the infrastructure and of the basic necessities. The islands by themselves cannot do it. So I'm speaking not only for Puerto Rico, but I'm also speaking for the United States Virgin Islands. This is the Caribbean. Puerto Rico is strategically located, and that's why we brought in the people from the islands to be in Puerto Rico. So hopefully the federal government, and when I say the federal government, I'm talking about Congress specifically, will relook at Puerto Rico and understand how strategic Puerto Rico is and beneficial it is for the United States, and that we need to have that robust infrastructure that will make Puerto Rico even more efficient and get up on its feet, and we can get out of the economic crisis that we have.
Where can people go to help with the victims of this devastating storm?
For those who would like to help Puerto Rico, and I truly hope that you who are listening to this, you feel compelled that you want to do something, and you have an option here. UnitedForPuertoRico.org is the organization or the website that you can go to, spearheaded by the First Lady of Puerto Rico. There you're going to find information of the organizations that you can donate, and also what's really important as well is that if as an individual you want to help, or as a company you want to help, there's a guideline of things that you can donate, where we need all the help that we can in volunteers in all areas, from engineering to construction, people working with lumber, in all sorts of areas. So go to UnitedForPuertoRico.org.
Well, thank you, Brenda.
Thank
you for enlightening us on the hurricane and the devastation in your country. And hopefully you can go back home soon.
I hope so too.
But
and for everybody to visit Puerto Rico.
Absolutely, but we are enjoying you here in Michigan also. But thank you very much, Brenda. This is Patty Williams with WKTV Journal.